Hi guys, it's Cassie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are taking on a huge topic about how to become financially independent or financially free. Now if you're like me, this new year is looking like the year that I want to get things working for me financially, especially after all the problems we've encountered this year. I plan to become financially independent next year. I've been working towards it. I've encountered a few strategies that have been helping me, and I want to educate you guys as well on the things that you can do or implement into your financial journey that could help you become financially independent as easily as you can and possibly retire early, because that's the goal ultimately. Now, just like you, when I was looking to learn more about financial independence, I encountered so many people who are good at dishing out advice, and they're not so good people who just sell things and say things as it comes to their head. Now, financial planning is something that is very key when you want to become financially independent. There are a few strategies that you have to put in place and know to ensure that your money is working for you in that sense, and you're making sure that every step you take is taking you closer to your financial independence and your retirement and not dragging you behind. So the first thing that I learned, or the first thing that I encountered when I was understanding the journey, is understanding that income is not wealth. Basically, however much I earn right now per year or per month is not equal to how much wealth I can build up for myself. Someone can be earning £1 million a year and I could be earning 30,000 a year, and we still will be able to save up the same amount of wealth per a certain age, determined or based on our spending habits, which is why some people think that the higher paying job you get, the more rich you become or the more wealthy you become. Certainly it is quite true, because you earning more means that you have more money to put towards that your wealth building, whereas someone who earns less needs to do a bit more to earn that same amount of money. But ultimately it comes down to your spending habits, and which is why someone can win a lottery for £20 million today and end up going broke next year, and someone else can work a shift that earns them about 20,000 a year, and in 5 years time they've saved up about £50,000 of savings in their ISA account. It all comes down to your spending habits and how you think long term as well. Whilst your income is a big component of your wealth building, is not the only factor that comes into play when you want to build wealth. There are so many considerations that you need to implement to ensure that you're reaching there quicker. For instance, for a doctor or for a lawyer or for someone who works a traditional, maybe high paying job. Now for them, they may earn a lot, but then you have to think about how much tax they pay at the end of the month. Now most of these doctors and most of these lawyers put in a lot of hours just to make up that income that they earn, which means that ultimately they either have to seek for promotions or seek to open their own private practice to ensure that they're getting more money than they probably should, or earning more for their worth than they probably earn working for a particular company or the NHS, which is something that you need to think about if you're someone who works that sort of career. But aside that, most of us who work the traditional 9 to 5, the extra way that we can look into ensuring that we build our wealth is to ensure that we've got some side hustles that can earn us money, especially passive income ideas, things that can earn us money whilst we are sleeping, or things that can earn us money whilst we are not putting in as much effort, which is why you can check out this video that I uploaded about passive income and active income. That would help you understand the things that you can do right now to ensure that in the next 5 to 10 years to come, you're building up your wealth and building up money in the stock market, or even in your ISA accounts that would come in handy for your future. Ultimately, the value of your income compared to your wealth is achieved by how much you're able to put that income into use to ensure that it's working towards your financial goal or your financial independence. Some people may put these extra funds into a stock market or a brokerage account that would earn them a few pounds back. Other people want to invest it into other up-and-coming businesses that they think would bring much returns whenever it grows. Other people might seek to invest it into a compound interest account that can earn more interest, and the interest also earns another interest. Ultimately, you could even invest it into a business or a startup that could bring you dividend income that you don't have to labor for, and that costs less in tax as well. These are all areas that you can seek to put your income into that would go into building your wealth and your net worth in the long run. Now, the second thing that I learned that I'm implementing into my life is to create a surplus account or a surplus money to invest into the stock market. Now, I'm new to investing, but this is something that you want to look into. As I mentioned earlier, the only way you can take advantage advantage of these investment opportunities and these compound interest and these stock market and these, returns and dividends is to ensure that you have the money to invest in the first place. So creating extra money that you can put into the stock market or invest or save up for these courses would ensure that you reach your financial independence quicker. Becoming financial independent is a very slow process. As mentioned earlier, you start from cutting back on your spending, you start by earning a bit more extra, you start by looking into your expenditure. But all of these extra income that you pick up or the surplus funds that you find, the easiest way to ensure that they're working better for you is to invest them into a compounding account that can earn you compound interest. Ultimately, they reach a point where interest you earn on your investment or on your critical mass can really, really help you and change your life. You could ultimately live off of that, which is where people calculate the 25% or the 4% rule when they're looking into how much they need to save up for their retirement. These are the easiest ways to ensure that you're gaining so much money back with little effort. Or putting in nothing at all, just allowing your money to work for you. Create that surplus, funds. Even if you have to get a side gig, get a side income, side business, put in more shifts at work, set up your own private practice or look for a high paying job. These are all ways that you can create that surplus account to ensure that you're investing it and making back your money. The third strategy that I encountered is the fact that taxes matter a lot. I looked into how the incomes that people were earning, whether it was investment income or business income or just the salaried income that we earn. There's so many differences between these things. And I think one book that I read that really helped with that was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it helps, to differentiate between these incomes and how it affects you and how the taxation works as well. Now, with salaried income, we know how much tax we receive on that. And the more you earn, the more you're taxed, which means that ultimately, as you're building up your work and high-paying job, you're paying so much more tax. Whereas your manager or your director or your company probably earns a little bit in tax and earns the rest in dividends. And then because the dividends isn't taxed, they earn so much money that they can put into real estate, which can appreciate over time and earn them so much money without also being taxed. In America, I know about the Roth IRA scheme that people use to save up all their extra funds in there, which means that ultimately they're saving money that isn't taxed into that account for their retirement. And once they get to their retirement, they've amassed so much money in that account. So you want to look into opportunities where you can maybe skip on tax or pay less tax and can use your money for so much more than just putting all your money towards tax like we do. There are so many tax advantaged and tax-free accounts that you could open in the UK, or so many investment portfolios that can help you to pay less tax and save so much money or put so much money in the stock market. Another strategy that I've soon realized is the fact that taking control of your time is really key to financial independence. Ultimately, time is your greatest asset, and if you're wasting it on seeking other avenues rather than your financial independence, you might see yourself playing catch up to those who started earlier on. And so time, whether it's you investing, whether it's you saving up, whether it's you getting your debt down, it's all to do with time. The sooner you get it done, the earlier it is for you. Even if it's just 1% savings for your retirement, the sooner you start with it, the more it builds up over time. Aside that, when it comes to the jobs that you do, if it's something that takes in so much of your time but brings you little income, you want to look into avenues that you can spend less time and bring in more money. Seemingly, we may not have reached our investment goal or reached our retirement plan goal, but if you have the luxury of time to do whatever you want, or you're working your side business or working your own business that gives you the ability to spend time with your family or do the things that you love, that is the greatest wealth asset or greatest luxury that you could ever ask for. And so taking back control of your time is really key, and that is also in itself financial independence. Now, we've talked about the investment, we've talked about the taxations, we've talked about the income, we've talked about time. But one thing that I've realized in my journey of achieving financial independence is finding the complementary spouse or husband or partner is really key to financial independence. You can be the most frugal person, but marrying the wrong person who has no value for money or has no interest in making sure that he reaches financial independence can really hurt you in your income and in your finances. They'd rather spend all the money you're earning rather than save up or build up your portfolio for your financial independence. Most people even end up getting so stressed out that they even spend more money in their divorce and spend more money in lawyers' offices than they even need to put into their bank or save for. If you don't think about these things, you're ultimately going to be struggling for at least the better part of your life, especially since most of us quite marry during our millennial years. It is really, really important that you get the right person to push you. If you want to get there quicker or invest quicker or invest your money, assets right, you want to have the right person next to you, pushing you, encouraging you, and working hand in hand with you to achieve that goal. It motivates you, it gives you the right nudge whenever you need it, and ensures that you're doing the right thing. You both can put your heads together and understand the things that you need to do. Two incomes are better than one anyway, and investing would help you reach there quicker when one income is used to take care of the house and another one is used towards your investment and towards your future planning. So marrying the right spouse or marrying the right partner is really key to financial freedom and financial independence as well. You don't want to struggle. So these are 5 strategies that I've learned and come across as I'm building my portfolio towards financial independence. Of course, I'm going to be sharing more as I learn them, but make sure that if you're not implementing these already, you implement them into your life and ensure that you're working your way towards a financial independence future and retirement that could be earlier on than the traditional age of retirement. So if you love this video, please make sure you leave a comment down below explaining any strategies or any steps that you're taking to ensure you reach your financial independence. Someone may benefit well from that. And make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video and share with friends and family. Until I see you next week. Bye guys.